What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Simple Sports Hub, where we talk all things Washington Commanders football here on this channel, man. Hey, a lot been going on, a lot's been said, so let's go ahead and get on into it. All right, man. So we're gonna start off with honoring one of the Washington's legends. We found out, I believe yesterday or day before yesterday, reports came out that Art Monk, the Commanders, Washington Redskins, whatever you want to call them these days, they're the Commanders to me. That's who I choose to call them. The Commanders are retiring our former receiver, Hall of Fame receiver Art Monk's 81 jersey this season. So his numbers will be put up into the stadium. 81. Hey, won't be worn again because his number is being retired. And I just want to say, hey man, shout out to Art Monk, man, because this was going to lead into the. I ain't gonna speak too much on it because again, I'm not going to sit here. Oh yeah, I watch Art Monk. No, bro, I was like probably 3 years old or 2 years old when Art Monk was playing football or done playing football. But anywho, shout out to Art Monk. His jersey, his number will be retired. I believe at the Seattle Seahawks game. I believe that's a Monday nighter. I will be there for that game. So it'll be good to see us honoring, a Washington legend. One of the receivers, one of the players that played with us, won a Super Bowl with us. We're gonna be rocking our Super Bowl alternate uniforms that game. So I'll be there. It's gonna be good. It's good for the fans. It's good for the Redskin fans that's still holding on to the name and the legacy that we built with the Redskins name. And it's also gonna be good for some of the younger guys like myself to just kind of see us honoring some of the legends that played with Washington, right? So shout out to Art Monk. Shout out to him and what he did for our franchise. And this is what going into now. We talking about receivers, and we're going into the next topic of discussion. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. But we're gonna go ahead and watch a video first, man. Let's watch the video first.
I've been pretty frustrated.
Ah, yes, this is our boy Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I've been pretty frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. Everything that has transpired up to this point has just been disappointing and frustrating. I wanted to continue my career here. Created my life here. My wife and I have bought our first home here, so this has been somewhere where I've always wanted to be. And yeah, I've been pretty frustrated.
All right, I'm not gonna play the whole interview. I'm pretty sure most of y'all done already saw it and heard it. This is just me giving my opinion and my take on it, right? All right, how do I wanna start this off? Because it's getting a little crazy, but I don't expect nothing less because our fan base are, our fan base is a fan base that truly, damn, I call it a little loose here. Our fan base is a fan base that really, what I'm saying, we love hard, man. We love hard, and we attach ourselves to a lot of the players that have produced for our team, and we kind of want to see guys retire. With Washington and Terry, and I'm gonna start by saying this: Terry truly. I already made a post about this when he missed minicamp. I already dropped a video on that. Um, I do think Terry deserves his money. I think he's a model receiver, a model off the field type of football player that you don't really get too many guys. He's not like a super diva. He has diva tendencies because every receiver does. Even during that slump of him not getting the ball, you kind of seen some of the antics of him being frustrated and kind of showing some of those diva ways. I'm not gonna call him and label him a diva though. He has diva type tendencies, but a model citizen, man, a model has shown up. The old saying, hard hat and pale and whatever they call it. He showed up and showed that he was one of the top 10 receivers in the league, and he's shown that for the last 7 years. Again, outside of his rookie year, he missed 100 yards by what, like 40, 50 yards, if that. He's touched 1,000 every year, so he's been consistent and he's been durable. Hasn't missed games. He's played every single game for us. He's shown up. Haven't had high touchdown numbers, but that could be, a lot of variables can be applied to why he hasn't had high touchdown numbers except for last season, where he set his record high for touchdown receptions, um, last season with 13. Right. I do think he deserves his money. I also am seeing a lot of banter. If you can see this comment right below, and there's nothing wrong with it, right? I understand the whole the fan the fan mentality of, man, why we haven't signed Terry yet? Why we haven't signed Terry yet? And I'm just looking at it like this, man. And some people may not want to hear this hard truth, right? I do think Terry deserves his money. I do think that he deserves to retire a Washington Commander. Um, I do think that what the money that he's asking for is he's earned it. He's proved it. He's earned it. Not so much in the receiving yards category because he's been consistent, right? In his receiving yards, it hasn't like he didn't go to 1,400, 1,500. He's been anywhere from that 1,000 to 1,200. I mean 1,100 receiving yards a season. And yes, we know that it's accredited. A lot of that is due to him not having a fucking franchise quarterback. We know that. The writing was already on the wall. Like we seen last year, you get him a franchise guy outside of that slump, and Cliff trying to figure out how we can make him more involved in the offense. And then we started moving him around within the offense, lining him up in the slide, motioning him in the backfield, and just getting him the ball and letting him be a playmaker. Then he started taking back off again. We've seen, yes, he could have very well been a 1,400-yard receiver last year. I'm not going to sit here, but that slump kind of hurt us, kind of hurt him, and where his receiving yards was at. I also am taking my fandom out of this and trying to look at it from a GM perspective. And that's where the hate is coming in for, not the hate, but or the disdainment or dislike for Adam Peters is coming in. And it's like, God damn, y'all, like y'all not even trying to get a man the benefit of the doubt that he's really trying to work a deal that's beneficial to the team and not going to hurt us cap wise. Because we are older. Yes, the rankings just came out. We the number one oldest team, 27.8. So if you want to round it up, 28 years old. We are the oldest, team in the NFL. That's cool. That's cool. We are still trying to rebuild here. This is not like, all right, we going, Adam Peters and Josh Harris come in and just do a complete rehaul, and we get to the NFC Championship last year. No, all right. We had to make a ton of fucking free agent signings. A lot of guys that we was all questioning. Oh, who was Frankie Louvu? Oh, I like Frankie Louvu now. It's like, all right, you starting to see we signed the old, washed up, has been, Bobby Wagner. I'm not saying everybody's saying that, but that some people was, man, what we going to do with him? He old. And it's like, y'all got to give Adam Peters and his team time to rebuild this thing. And we started with our franchise quarterback. Who knew that we was going to hit on 3 draft picks? Who knew that? Who knew that we was going to potentially hit on 3 draft picks? Yes, Brandon Coleman didn't wow us at left tackle, but he was serviceable at left tackle. He's looking like he might be more potentially an inside type of guy. It happens in every franchise, every team. They may draft a guy to play a certain position, but guess what? They're not working out there, but guess what? They're more suitable and probably an all-pro caliber type of player at another position. So you got Jayden Daniels. You got Mike Sandersteele, who, we was like, hey, man, we didn't know we was going to get this out of Mike Sandersteele. Nick Saban was the only one that called it, and I'm not saying that he was the best player that came out of that draft, but he definitely showed us a lot, right? And then you got Brandon Coleman. Brandon Coleman played a serviceable season last year that we looked at and said, God damn. But let's reel it all the way back in. So I got trust in Adam Peters. I got trust that he's going to make this contract work. But again, we've seen the rollout and how the trajectory of, all right, he's not showing up to minicamp. All right, we all up in Raw like, oh man, we about to trade Terry. We not gonna get, we ain't gonna, hey man, we losing, but he just building great chemistry with Jayden Daniels. Yes, he did. We not. I don't think nobody really that's thinking at it from a GM perspective that's saying that it's not saying that we don't need him, but you gotta weigh all options. Adam Peters is not attached to the player. He's attached to the team and the winning success, which Terry McLaurin played a huge part of, not taking it away. But now let's look at the real side of it. Terry, you are 30 years old, my brother. You are 30. All right, as a GM, and I'm not even talking about no Madden GMing and franchise. No, you do got to get younger. You do have an asset in Terry McLaurin who's shown that he can still be a top 10 receiver. All right, like yeah, but we was at the NFC Championship, and I think that's a whole nother video for another day because I think our fan base is putting a lot on the NFC Championship, us making it there. I'm not saying it was fluke. I'm not saying it was we got lucky. No, we got there. But let's not forget the bigger picture is that we're still trying to build a franchise. We're still trying to build this thing out. And that's not going to come in one season. Just because we have one season, one successful season, in the rebuild. All right, yes. So now you got to capitalize on it. And what did Adam Peters go out there and do? Went to go get Marshawn Lattimore, oh man, he ain't played a lot. It seems like every time we do something, we questioning it until it works out. And it's like, oh, hey, we got something here. And it's like, come on, fan base. Like, we got to do better, man. We got to let's let this thing play out with Terry McLaurin. I think he gets his deal before training camp starts. I'm going to go back to Brandon Ayuk with San Francisco. He went on a whole tour of interviews and went on multiple podcasts and yeah, man, if they don't want me, hey, I want to go over here and play with my best friend, with Jaden. Got him on the pivot and all that. And then what ended up happening? We thinking that we about to trade for Brandon Ayuk. Bring him on over here. We'll take him and pay him. And guess what happened? A week or two later, Brandon Ayuk signs an extension with the San Francisco 49ers. So let's pump our brakes, y'all. Let's keep at ease. Yes, this is typical strategy for you hear the fan base, and this is all Terry McLaurin. He's doing his job as a player that feels like he deserves his money. Yes, we saw what Garrett Wilson got, and I don't know what some of y'all tripping, saying that Garrett Wilson didn't deserve that type of money at 24 years old with the ceiling that the trajectory he's going on. Now he potentially got a quarterback that he used to play with in college. Do I need to say this? Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase? But anywho, look. I know everybody, that's a whole nother subject for another day. I ain't gonna talk about that. But back to, this is strategy. This is what him and his I forgot the name. God damn, I can't think of it. But this is what him and his personnel and his team is coming up with and saying, hey, this is how we should attack this. I think he's going to get his money. But I think Adam Peters also is considering other options. As you should as a GM. If you pretty much see him doing his tour run, saying that, I'm frustrated and all that, and, you get 3 or 4 or 5 phone calls, and you say, hey, we'll be interested in Terry. What y'all want for him? You gonna give me a third? You gonna give me a fourth? Can we squeeze in a second? These are all things that we gotta think about here, y'all, so we can't just be rushing the gun, but I understand this is what we're gonna do as fans. So it's interesting to see how the fans play it out and say, oh man, we might be losing Terry. All right, what if we do lose Terry? I'm going to ask y'all this one question, and I want y'all to answer it in the comments. All that Terry has done for us, look at his stats, look at how he showed up, been healthy. Do you think that, and I'm talking about the franchise. I'm not talking about next season and this season coming up that we about to enter into, and it's kind of late. But Jaden Daniels made it work with Terry, and they ain't have no previous season and able to build chemistry. They had a full off season, yeah, so that's the advantage, right? Do y'all think that we can find another Terry McLaurin? And I'm only asking that because if we look at history and the last couple of receivers that's been coming out in these last couple of draft class, a lot of receivers a lot of teams that been drafting receivers been getting some Terry-like receivers. So they've been coming out of college producing. Is what I'm really trying to get at. And I'm not saying that we need to get rid of him. I want him to stay here. I want him to stay with us. I think him, Debo, Laramie Tunsil, everything that we've also added this offseason we're going to take, our team is going to take that next step. I believe in that. With Terry there. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh man, if we get rid of Terry, all is over. No. We still got that. That's kind of like, and I'm not saying that y'all implying this, but if you're saying that we lose Terry, damn, what about JD? What about JD5? The quarterback that got to give him the ball. Somebody still got to throw the ball to him. Because we didn't see the soaring touchdown receptions until JD5 got there, right? To the quarterback and the offensive coordinator and all these other pieces that came up part of that, right? So, are we going to discredit JD5 and what he brought to the organization and brought to the franchise because we not paying Terry, who I think we are going to pay? I got to keep saying this because I know how y'all get. Oh, you trying to say that you don't like? No, I want Terry to be here. I do want Terry to be here. I see the extension. I see him getting his money somewhere right before training camp where everybody got to report back and gear up. And if it does go into like maybe not like a week or two, because again, he's ahead of the game. He knows the offense. He already have chemistry with JD5. It's not like they got to build this thing. Like, it's not like this situation happened last year, right? When we first got JD5. He's already proven what he can do for us, right? So even if it do go a week or two into the training camp, what is he missing? Hey, that gives JD5 and Deebo Samuels time to get on the same frequency. If you ask me, that gives JD5 and Luke McCaffrey, Michael Gallup, Jacoby Brooks. He's giving those guys, the young guys, some hey man, let me see what we got here. Adam Pete's probably like, all right, we'll go about a week or two in the training camp. Let me see what some of these young unrestricted free agents we brought in. For LSU, Louisville played with Alabama, transferred to Louisville. Let me see what Jacoby Brooks got. Let me see what he can do. We got some other guys here that we might can. Hey, can we make it work, JD? Can we make it work? No, but again, everybody is speaking. Even Dan Quinn, Zach Ertz. Hey man, Terry deserves his money. Terry deserves to be on the team. Everybody still wants him here. But don't go too harsh on our guy AP, man. He's just trying to make it work. He's trying to make sure the numbers work. All right, with that being said, all right, let's move on to the next topic of discussion. And this is the breaking news. And we saw it last night. Well, I saw it last night. My man's like, hey, man, Commanders just got, Von Miller. Hey, I was just talking to that same brother, that friend of mine last week. And I said, hey, who are the free agents that's still out there that y'all think that y'all can use? And he's a Ravens fan. And then I'm like, hey, man, I'll take Von Miller right now. I said this. I said, hey, I'll take Von Miller. Von Miller is a serviceable guy that can come in and still kind of, yeah, we lost Dante Fowler. But do I think that he can be what Dante Fowler was? Yeah, it may not look like that on the numbers, but he probably can be way more disciplined in the run game when he's out there on the field. I don't think he's going to be a first through, fourth down type. I think he's going to be a specialist, key down type of guy that we rotate in. And then if he takes a Van Noy type of, approach and he like, hey man, I don't give a fuck what y'all say about my age. I can still get y'all 10 plus sacks. All right, then we might have to roll that nigga back into a full rotation. He maybe have to play first and second down and then also play them key downs, special downs too. But I think he's going to be situational. I think he can help us out. Let's not make it seem like we had a 10 sack person on the team before we signed him. Yes, he's old. I hear people throwing out the wash word. How? How do y'all know that? Oh, he only had 6 sacks. Y'all also know he missed 4 games at the beginning of the season. He had 6 sacks. We're missing 4 games. Y'all know what 4 games can do for a player like him with his caliber? That's a sack a game if y'all want to do the math. Like, that's 10. He had 10 sacks. That's the more sexy number for y'all. Oh, yeah, we trying to watch Von Miller. Oh, we got the oldest defense now with Von and Bobby White. Come on, man. Nobody really, if you know real football, this signing wasn't oh yeah, we just upgraded the hell of our pass rushing room, our DN room. No, nobody thought that. If you thought that, like, come on, bro, this is a added piece. He can help us out. We lost Dante Fowler, who was our sack leader. Y'all know who went out of all the free agents that we just signed this offseason, plus who was on the team from last season. Do I need to remind y'all Dorrance Armstrong only had 5 sacks? Oh yeah, he was better. He was more used as a run stopper. But the money said that we paying him to be a top to get a 10 sacks, 8 to 10 sacks a season. He didn't get that for us. Dietrich Wise only had 5 sacks in New England. Von Miller had 6. And he missed 4 games. Even at worst, if it don't get 10, you thinking that he can't get squeezed 2 more sacks in there to get 8? He can't end up with 8 or 3 sacks to end up with 9, shy of 10? Come on, man. Y'all gotta do better. I'm really trying to understand this mentality here with our fan base, bro. It's like, Why y'all can't be happy that we added another piece? Nobody said that this piece was going to be a Miles Garrett, a T.J. Watt, one of the top pass rushers in the currently in the league. Nobody said that. No, I didn't even think that. I was just like, oh shit, yes, bet added another vet. He can teach. He can teach some of the young guys that we got on the mob right now. He can definitely help out some of the young bulls how to stay disciplined, because that's what Dante Fowler, if you want to go back to NFC Championship, getting shooting down the gap, shooting down the line of scrimmage, and they ran the toss right to the outside of him because they knew he was undisciplined. But that's another story for another day. We ain't gonna get into that. Shout out to Dante Fowler. Appreciate everything that you did for us when you was here last year. This is not a jab at you whatsoever, but hey, you a risky type of DM, pass rushing. You like to risk it a little bit. Von Miller's a vet. He ain't great at stopping the run, but he can be serviceable. He can be disciplined. But again, man, I like the signing. I like bringing Von Miller to help out the pass rushing room. Cheap. We got him on a 1-year deal. Probably not paying him much. It's not hurting us on the cap. I want to reiterate. Terry does get re-signed maybe right before training camp or a week or two after. But I think the deal gets done. And if he is traded, hypothetically, let's play the hypothetical. If he is traded, please let it be for a third round. All wishes come to. Are y'all really mad if we trade him and get a second round pick for him? Because somebody say, oh yeah, we can use him right now and we don't care about a second round pick. Are y'all mad that we let Terry go? I know y'all probably would. I already know the answer. Yeah. Y'all be pissed because y'all don't believe in building through the draft class. Y'all want, the success to remain what it was, the chemistry to remain what it was. And I get it. Hey, but y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think, man. Y'all let me know what's up. All right, let's check out Rashad. I believe we got some Rashad Jennings speaking to.
For the Commanders, I mean, I think it's a smart move for him. I think it's a smart move for the Commanders. I mean, they were the oldest team in the NFL last year. In addition to Von Miller to the defense, they stay the oldest team. So I think what they're doing is putting they're counting on their defense and relying on their offense, and especially and now Jaden Daniels. And how I look at it is this: when I order something from Amazon, I don't rely on it to show up. If it's going to be there Friday evening, I count on it to show up. And so what I'm counting on is the Commanders now. I'm counting on the defense to actually carry us, and then that allows me to rely on my offense. Now, when you rely on something, you're depending it with full trust. Now, there was a dating phase with Jaden Daniels' first year. Now they're getting into a marriage. And to trust somebody, you don't need to trust somebody with your money if you don't give them your credit card. You don't need to trust somebody.
I don't know anything about that. All right, that's cool. Good analogy.
Give them the utensils. You don't need to trust anybody with your heart until you give it to them. So what do they do now? They give Jaden Daniels the true keys to the ship. So I think it's good for the Commanders to pick up a Von Miller. He's a stout player. Yeah, I think it's a smart.
Yeah, that was a whole little rundown on that. But again, man, shout out to Von Miller, man. Welcome to DC, man. Hey, man, I know if you ran 24, we got to talk about this number though. If you ran 24, that's cool. I don't care what number you really wear. This is as long as you can come out here and give us, 7 to 8 sacks. What you better than what you did last year, and you make key plays. And they don't gotta always result in a sack. Even if you push a quarterback to a Dorrance Armstrong or Dietrich Wise, and they get it. If you force them up the middle to a Deron Payne or Javon Kinlaw, that's wins for me. See, I look at the game differently. I don't just look at a stat category. I look at what you do, play in and play out. So if you could come in and still, make an impact, on when you're on the field, hey, that's a win to me. That's a win. That's an upgrade from what we got right now, because that was one of our biggest question marks going into this season, because we did not address the pass rushing, position. I could say yes, we added some serviceable guys, but nobody that kind of oh shit, yeah, we didn't get a Miles Garrett. We didn't trade for a TJ Watt. Yeah, we didn't do a lot of those things. A lot of those things didn't happen, right? But hey, I just want to let y'all see this real quick. Just check. I went and checked GPT. 3 guys. One guy, Dante Fowler, who played with us, who got 10 sacks, or 10.5 sacks. But then I went to go look up a vet guy, somebody that's up in age, who y'all probably would say was washed. played for the New England Patriots, produced at a decent level. I'm not gonna say high, at a good to decent level, depending on how you look at the game of football, right? And I looked up Von Miller and him only playing 13 games, and I went and looked up the snap count, right? And this is what ChatGPT gave me. Y'all can correct it if it's right or wrong. Von Miller played 13 games, only had 279 snaps, right? Dante Fowler played all 17, had anywhere from 563 to 640. And Van Noy played 16 games, missed one, 630 to 690. Not saying Von Miller is the old Von Miller from the Broncos. But you mean to tell me that if this guy get even close, like this night, he's not even at half. If he gets 300, 37, let's just bump it up 100. 379 snaps. He don't get you 8-9 sacks. He don't get you 8 or 9 sacks. Cause you know when you start off the season and you gotta get into the flow that first 2 or 3 games. Like Van Noy had 12.5 sacks last year, or probably 13. I think he had 13 or 12. And he's a vet. He's what you would deem washed. Because according to y'all just look at name and what they did the last season and call him washed. Y'all saying that Von can't have a Van Noy, and I'm not saying that he will. I'm not saying that he's going to give us 12 sacks. Like what Van Noy gave the Baltimore Ravens was like, oh shit, we didn't expect him to give us that. We just wanted somebody to come in here and be serviceable. And he gave us that. Y'all saying that Von can't and he getting the full season under his belt? He can't give us 8, 7, he can't even at least give us 6 or more sacks than what he had last year. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think, man. Please subscribe to the channel, man. We're going to keep dropping bangers. We're going to keep, it's starting to ramp up a little bit. We're starting to get back into a flow of, football. I know it's been a dead little couple of weeks. But look, hey, we back. We starting to get back now. Some news starting to drop. Y'all stay tuned, man. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Raise hell. I'm out of here.